Hello, I wanted to do a blog video post in response to Pastor Kevin's message this last Sunday when he was talking about the world and letting the world into our homes and being careful with that. And so I wanted to kind of get an idea of I just actually did this today to finalize it up, but what some of us are doing to protect our homes from the world and the idea of the internet. So if some of you might be like me, we have a really old computer, about as old as, well, it's older than my oldest child. So we've tried to filter that computer. Because one thing you think about, if you filter your computer, that's great for that computer, that particular machine, but what about when you have guests come over and they use your Wi-Fi? That's not filtered. If you just filter the computer, because the internet comes into your modem, goes to your router, and your router's blasted through the house. So you can protect the one machine, but how do you protect visitors? And for me as a youth pastor, I have high school kids coming on Sunday nights and hanging out, and we do a small group together. They bring their iPods and they sometimes bring a laptop. How do you protect them? How do you make sure that your home is not a place for them to fall into temptation? So we have the machine that we can filter, and if we don't have the filter on ours, because if you put a filter on our computer, like I said, it's so old that it just renders it useless, and it gets so slow and so clogged up that it becomes kind of an unusable machine if you filter the internet on that computer. So what we do then is we have a log. We'll have to log in, which is one way to protect it, so the kids can't just access the computer when they want to, but they have to log in, so we know that. So that's one level of protection, but again, that doesn't protect them from content. So what do we do? So the church at Calvary, we have a thing called Untangled. So if you are using our web service during the service with your iPads or your laptops or whatever, you might notice that there's a server to log in on, and so all of the internet at our church is filtered, and they use a filtering service called Untangled, and we pay for the professional version, but they also have a free version that is good for home use, and so it's free and it filters and it's very, very good. But the problem is it takes a dedicated computer to run just the filter, and if you're like me, who wants a bunch of computer stuff clogging up your home office space or your whatever. So let me show you what I did, and maybe it'll give some of you some ideas, and you can take what I've done and go further. But I'll show what I've done here in our laundry room. So, but before I do that, note that the internet came into the house through the cable. As you can kind of see right down here is the cable in the wall. That used to be a phone cable, now it's an internet cable. So you think, well, how did you do that? Well, let's explain that in just a minute. So here I am in my laundry/utility room where all the stuff comes into the house. And I showed you the phone cable that is now an internet cable, and I didn't have to do any new rewiring. I just had to change the ends, and Joel Minchington from church really helped me with this. But if you see here, all these blue cables used to be, or they still are, the telephone cables. But when they did my house, it's a relatively newer house, so all the wires they use for the phone also are Cat5 or internet cables. So I had Joel come over. He knows how to do these kind of things. You can go to Home Depot or Menards, get your own do-it-yourself thing, but he's more knowledgeable than I am. So what he did is he took the one blue cable that was going to that office space up on the ceiling, if you tracked it down, and we just changed the end to be an internet cable instead of a phone cable. So you can see here, this used to be carrying the phone line. Now it doesn't go down to the phone, it goes over to my internet. So that one jack is now an internet cable, which means that I don't have to have the modem and stuff in my home office. I can put it in here. This is the laundry room. So then what we did is that computer that I was telling you about, Gail Peterson at the church, she's our church's IT lady, she helped me with this. She built this computer, and it has the Untangled stuff on it. So you see the screen here. It says Untangle, and it's the administrative login screen. So what happens then is the internet comes out of my cable into my cable modem. Here's the modem. It goes from out of the modem into the computer, and the computer then filters it, and then it spits out of the computer into the wireless access point, which broadcasts it to the house. So the signal being broadcast is filtered, as well as that blue cable that goes into that one room where the computer for the kids goes into that box also. So this beautiful old Dell machine is my web filter, also router sort of a thing. So it cleans up all the internet, filters it out before it even sends it into my home or into my wireless router. So that's what we've done at the Brown House, and like I said, it's all free. I'm not paying a subscription fee. You just log in, and it's all open source stuff, and it's free. And all I had to do was have Gail help me with this computer. So here's the good news. So I talked with Gail Peterson, and she said she is willing to help other families do a similar setup as this, as getting the computer to work as your filter. And so our own Scott Hansen, he rebuilds and refurbs old machines through IBM or other places, and he can get you a dedicated computer for around $100. And then Gail said she'd help you get all this stuff figured out. So I'm not going to put a price tag on all of this stuff, but if you really wanted to get something like this for your home, to filter your internet, to filter your wireless zone, so your kids, you can have confidence that your children, using their little iPads and their tablets and their laptops, they're having access to internet to do fun things and to do homework, but also they're going to get protected from the bad guys, the boogeyman coming into your home and kind of giving them more temptation than they really need. And I also realize this, that limiting your access does not change your heart. Limiting your access only gives your heart space to change. So if you're having a problem with this stuff, just limiting your access is not going to change your heart. Like I said, it'll give your heart the space to repair and to get right. So remove the temptation from your plate, then you can focus a little better on working on your heart. So this is a great way. It's a free way to get into your home, a cleaner internet. Then you can track it, you can log it, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So if you want more information on what the Untangled software does, give us a call at the church. We'll let you know. Also, if you have things that you have done at your home to protect your home, this is not the only way to do it. This is just a way to do it. And so we'd like to hear more. What have you done to protect your home, your kids from the internet, the wireless access, giving them the freedom to choose, the freedom to grow and to develop and to understand, but also the protection that they need to not get stuck into some temptation cycle. So we'd love to hear more from you. Thanks.